Okay, so the first question we're going to do is the first question on the projectiles test review, which is Prad bit. Prad bit shoots a cannonball and it's shot off a 120 meter high cliff. What is that variable? dy. dy is 120 meters because that's the height, dy. The height, the distance in the y direction. The ball has an initial horizontal velocity but no vertical velocity. It strikes the ground 100 meters from the base of the cliff. What is that? dx. Now, the first thing that I want to do with this after I write down those variables is draw the picture. Now, is that a fancy picture there? No. Do I have a cannon or a cannonball? No, but I have everything that I need here. And then I need to label based on the variables that were given. So that's all I know for right now. Now, some things that it wants me to find. Number one, how long was the ball in the air? That's time. Number two, what was the initial velocity in the x direction? Number three, what was the horizontal acceleration? And number four, what was the vertical acceleration? Now there are two of those that we could solve right now without doing any kind of calculations. Which ones? The last two. What is the horizontal acceleration? It's 0. Why? Once it leaves the cannon, is it accelerating horizontally anymore? No, so that's 0. What about the acceleration in the which direction? Y. What is acceleration in the y direction? What causes stuff to accelerate in the y direction? Gravity. 9.8 meters per second squared. So if you put 10, that's okay too, because they're about the same. So now time and the initial horizontal velocity. Okay, if I have the height, I can find the time. Does anybody remember what formula we're going to use for that? Let me pull out my formulas. It's this one, right? 2 dy over g. What's the height? That marker's terrible. What's the height? 120. What's gravity? 9.8. So let's do that. 2 times 120 divided by 9.8. Then take the square root. 2 times 120 divided by 9.8, and then take the square root. 4.9? Yeah. So that's the time, 4.9 seconds. Is everybody good up to that point? Can I erase the work right there? Good? Yes. Yes, it is. AX is always 0 for us because once that ball leaves the cannon, nothing else is forcing it to go anywhere in the X direction. Now, if he fired a missile that had a little jet blowing out the back, then yes, it would have an AX. But our problems, we're not going to do that. All right, let me erase this. On the test, when you get that question, it's going to be 0, and that question is on the test. There you go. All right, the initial velocity in the x direction, or just Vx. Well, how do I find Vx in the, how do I find the velocity in the x direction? Distance divided by time. Which distance? The horizontal, which is 100. What's the time? 4.9 seconds. I think this is about 20. What is it? Nobody has a calculator today. What is it? Is it 20.5? All right, 20.4 meters per second. Can we do this problem tomorrow?
Yes.
I think there are 2 like this on the test, the horizontally launched problems.
How many questions
There are going to be 3 scenarios, 2 horizontal and 1 oblique with the full parabola. And each of those is going to have 4 to 5 questions each. So total, you're going to have about 15 things that you've got to find. Okay, so that's the first one.